Hello, my name is Austin Glazier, and my topic is human computations. Now, for my website, I'm going to explain the code, then I'm going to explain the content. So, what I've done is I've coded my banner to a nice fill the top of my HTML document for the body. What I did was I separated the body, gave it a max width, and set the HTML document to a different color than what the body was to get these lines here, these margins. Then what I did was I had the banner. I added a nice little quick title of human computations. Added some text shadowing, some borders, some background colors. I added a nice nav element that if you click on these tabs here, they will bring you to the HTML document that they are connected to. Then yet again, I added more margins to try to get everything looking proper, spick and span as it is. Then I added a nice little border to this text and added Dodger blue background. There's my name, Austin Glazier. And the content on this page this is the home page. This is my logo here. I added a nice quick little definition of human computation. I added my video, which I'm going to play for you after a few words. What I did here was I had my friend ask me the questions and record me while I answered, of course. Here you go. I hope you enjoy.
How is human computation beneficial to society today?
Is beneficial to society because of the way it works. It uses different attributes of people's abilities and combines it to form a solution. A good example for this is human-based genetic algorithm. Now, what this did was it took what humans used, like three ideas used by humans, and combined it together, and it gave us the ability to see mutated DNA and also combined DNA.
I'm clicking I am not a robot to prove to the computer, since it's asking me if I am a robot. Select the billboard, so I'm going to select that one, and that one. Now I can log in.
By the way, what you just saw at the end of that video is an example of human computation. Here's another video I found on one of my sites that describes human computation and defines it better than I did in my own video. And the person who's talking, they brought a good amount of light to this topic to me. But what I did here was I added a black background and added a nice little border on the outside. Here's a bunch of padding so you could actually see the background, and the video could sit nicely in its own little box. Here's the table of contents, which you could click on each individual link, and you have your buttons here at the bottom, which both work. So this is the purpose page. I don't know if I mentioned this about my banner earlier, but I had a brain and a computer trying to be a little creative here. But if you click on the banner up top, you will be sent to the home page. I have label A in the corner, as is, and I have, of course, the nav element on all my documents and a nice little title element up here, or title. But for this section, for A, it was a little hard because you want us to clearly define what human computation is for. Well, that's pretty much to solve problems that humans can't solve by themselves and computers can't solve by themselves. So you put both sources of knowledge together to form solutions to problems that have been detrimental to society. Some quick applications that I found were internet search engines, distribution of proofreaders, analysis of astronomical images, interactive online gaming, counting the decimals of pi, and many other things in the world. As you can see, I had nice little bottom borders, margins. Here for internet searches, I gave a quick little definition, a little quick spurts. And if you want to see the examples in action, I added two of a Google logo and a Bing logo since they're both competing rivals. And if you want, you could click on the images and it will bring you to their sites. Here, yet again, I touched on astronomical images. Galaxy Zoo and Stardust are just some basic programs used. But for their images, I added a nice little border and background color and added a nice little transition, 720 transition, animation to the images. So just for the sake of it. My other programming class taught me how to do it, so I thought I'd add it. Here you have online interactive gaming. Kind of decimals of pi, which are important because it's pi is an important principle to know in most math and programming variations. If you know pi, actually, it's a pretty good way to break someone's encryption and so on. And here is this little diagram of the process. I go into more depth explaining this diagram on another HTML document, so I'm going to wait to do that then. And of course, at the bottom again, you have previous, home, and next. This is the effects and impacts page. As always, the banner can be clicked on, have the nav element, a nice little title document, have a nice little animation here. Just threw that in there. I also learned that in my other class. Thought I hopefully might impress you a little bit, get a little extra care points. But, here for B, you wanted benefits and harmful effects. I really only focused on the benefits here because I really only saw any. For the benefits, I touched on the Fold project a good amount. But it also counts craters on the moon, translates old ship logs, identifies galaxies and astronomical images, and many, many other things. I had a nice little backgrounds, border bottom, border around the side, curved the edges on it to try to make it look better, curve the edges on the image too. Then for C, you want us to talk about society, economy, and culture, but society and culture kind of look the same to me, so you gave us the option on culture. I didn't do it. But for society, I focused on the Apollo 13 incident because it took a bunch of scientists coming together, forming little solutions to form a giant solution to a problem that the computer gave them. Even though it wasn't meant to be a problem, it was still human computation, and they saved the astronauts' lives. The economy, creating jobs. Human computation employs AIs and humans. Now, both work together. Both need research. I honestly only see more jobs being created as this field gets bigger. Some of the jobs that employ human computation are molecular biology, referencing the Folded project, astronomy, the Galaxy Zoos, which I mentioned earlier. Just got the quick definitions again in the same images, but changed the border on this one so that it looked a little different. And, of course, as always, have the previous, home, and next button at the bottom. This is the technical aspects page. As always, on the top, I have the banner with my home page, the nav element to select where you want to go, and what question I'm trying to answer. I have a little animation from earlier. This one is user interactions. I have this diagram here. It just pretty much tells you if humans are given the problem and the computer solves it, or if the computer is given the problem and the human solves it. So that's what you have here. It's a little bit more description. For this one, you want us to focus if it incorporated any of the technologies you listed. So I picked programming. Programming goes hand in hand with human computation because human computation relies heavily on AI software. But what I focused on was search engines, gaming, and watching TV. Now, I know I talked about search engines on how they give you a suggestion from what you're typing. Gaming, you're trying to finish a task at hand because the computer gave it to you. And for watching TV, I was more referring towards Netflix. because they give you options of what you might like to watch based off of what you have already watched and what other people have watched. And of course the bottom I have the previous and home and next buttons. This is the relationship to data page. Yet again, as always, up top, you got the banner, which will bring you to the home page, the nav element, which you could click on each one. You got the question animation here. And for G, it was data input and data output. So I gave a quick definition of human computations, showed this chart again to so people could try to visualize how the process works a little better. And then I used two examples. I used Google and Netflix and said how they collect their data and how they input data into the process. And then for the output, use the same examples again. I talked about how they, since they take the information, what it gives to you, which for Google, it is obviously suggestions on what you're typing in, and Netflix, it's suggestions on what you want to watch. But so people, but since my images were kind of small in this in the body, I decided to make it so that if you hover over them, they expand so that you can see them easier. I did this also for the Netflix example, and that was just so that people could see the examples better. And if they wanted to look more closely, they had the opportunity to. For H, you wanted us to talk about some possible concerns. The only concern with human computation is what people will do with it and do with the information that is given to them in the process. Problems can arise where there's hackers or the information is used wrong for different purposes than they originally intended. But those are really the only few concerns for human computation, is just the actual raw information that the process uses. And then, of course, the bottom have the previous, home, and next button. This is the reference page. I have the title right here. Banner brings you home. Nav element as always. Nice little text box for around my sources. I use mainly three sources: MIT Technology Review, Tech News World, and The Economist. MIT and Tech News World both use studies from Cornell, used information from Cornell University. And The Economist gave me a certain viewpoint on the subject, which gave me more in-depth knowledge into jobs that it could create and some older time reasons why human computation was used. But the main site that helped me the most understand this was Tech News World, and that was because the video I have earlier in the on my homepage, right underneath my video, is this one right here, and this helped describe a lot of information to me. And this was probably by far my more favorite site that I used. Um,